it's Steph with Tiny's Garden, and today I am going to talk to you about what seeds I am sowing in February in Zone 5B. I am in the Chicago suburbs, and for those of you who are new here, I am an avid cut flower grower, not exactly a flower farmer, but maybe in the future. And I grow lots and lots of cut flowers. I did over 1,000 seedlings last year. I've got 18 trays to move out there into the greenhouse.
Here's a look at everything that's been in the greenhouse.
And I grow them in raised beds where I'm at because I'm in a very wooded area and a very heavy clay soil area. So for the spots that I have sun, I put raised beds in, and it has just been a blast. I really dove in a couple years ago, and I'm sharing my experience with all of you and getting a lot of feedback from you in the process, and we're gonna keep it rolling. I'm glad you're here. Let's jump right in, shall we? So today is February 3rd, but don't worry, I haven't really done much the past couple days. I did my Iceland poppies and I did sow some campanula or bellflower, and I will show you more of that in a different video, but we are on track even though we're a few days into the month. Let's go. For your reference, my last frost date is May 2nd. So as I'm going through these dates, all of those are based on my last frost date of May 2nd. If yours is different, adjust the number of days apart that we are with our last frost dates, and you'll be right on schedule. So February 2nd, which was yesterday, I did sow campanula or bellflower, the champion lavender variety, and this is my first time growing it. I did do it in soil blocks, so we'll see how it goes. Again, my first year using soil blocks this year. It's an experimental year, but so far so good with the Lisianthus. So I'm hoping with this campanula, it goes well also. We are 13 weeks out from the last frost date at this point. So another thing I'm doing is cooling bells of Ireland. However, I went through my seed stash yesterday and I don't have any bells of Ireland. I love bells of Ireland. So I'm gonna have to go online and order some more, but be sure that you're cooling your bells of Ireland for a couple weeks before you actually sow them. So for me, if I had them in my possession, they would be going in the refrigerator now. Then next week, we'll be 12 weeks out from our last frost. So on February 6th, I will be sowing my sweet peas. You wanna see how many sweet peas I have to sow this year? Let me just count them for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. But wait, I'm doing something different with my sweet peas this year. I am growing all of my floret sweet peas on the 6th, on February 6th. I am going to do another bunch of sweet peas of things I have left over from last year later on, because I want to see an experiment of if I start them on the 6th, which will be 12 weeks out, versus closer to my last frost date, if one is healthier than the other. I started them a little too early last year, which was right around this time, and they got pretty big, almost too big before I got them in the ground, which is partially my fault because I could have gotten them in the ground sooner. But just another experiment for this year. So I will be sowing all my floret ones because she does recommend on the back of her seed packets, sow seeds 10 to 12 weeks before your last frost date. As I said, 12 weeks is on the 6th for me, so I'm gonna sow all of these babies then. I'm not gonna tell you each variety of flower that I'm starting because that would take a very long time in this video, but I will tell you a couple I'm looking forward to out of my sweet peas are Jeff Hughes. I remember thinking, I see you, Jeff. Really pretty color there. And Wrist Rommel that I grew a couple years ago and couldn't get my hands on last year. It's such a vibrant, punchy, corally color. It's not red, it's not pink, it's kind of right in the middle, and I love it. Also on the 6th, foxglove, I will be sowing the Dalmatian peach variety. The Camelot one I am doing later on in a floret workshop I took last year. She recommends doing the Dalmatian peach earlier than the Camelot one. So this is the only foxglove I'm starting right now, but later on I will start like the Camelot series varieties in a little while. Keep in mind the foxglove are poisonous, so if you have pets and children, be cognizant of that. On February 12th is when I am starting my next round of ranunculus and anemones. I already planted my first round. They are in the process of pre-sprouting right now in a cool room. I am going to do a succession planting or an additional planting of them on the 12th so that I will get blooms at different times. Also on the 12th, I will be cooling my bupleurum and my larkspur. Both of those need to be cooled, so those will go into the fridge on the 12th for a couple weeks before I come back and actually sow them. Now on 11 weeks out from the last frost date, on February 13th, I will be sowing my rudbeckia. Spoiler alert, I also realized I don't have any Sahara rudbeckia when I was going through my seed stash, and that's my favorite rudbeckia. So I've also got to order some of those, but I do have the chimney, which is a new one for me this year, and I've heard great things about it, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. This is also the day I will be sowing my bells of Ireland when I get them in my possession. So as soon as I get them, they'll be cooled in the refrigerator, and then they will be sowed on February 13th. And then 10 weeks out from my last frost date is when things really ramp up. Snapdragon time! That's right, on February 20th is when I will start all my snapdragons, one of my favorite cut flowers, and I've also got several variety of those. 9 varieties of snapdragons this year. Very much so looking forward to that. Some new ones that I'm trying that I haven't done before. Some of my tried and true favorites like Costa Apricot and Apple Blossom. Those will all be started on February 20th. I am going to try and do most of these in soil blocks this year. I will maybe do 1 tray of cell trays just for some insurance, but everything I've read and seen is that these snapdragons do excellent in soil blocks, so I'm here for it. We're gonna try it. Then on 9 weeks out from our last frost date, at the end of the month, on February 26th and 27th, I will be sowing these 4. Bupleurum, calendula, larkspur, and feverfew. Feverfew is a new one for me this year. I'm doing the Begmo snowball. Looking forward to that because I see it a lot as fillers in bouquets, and I think it's a beautiful, nice touch with that yellow center, and the white on the outside is neutral enough that you can pair it with a lot of things. So looking forward to her. And you did know larkspur is different from delphiniums. I actually did do delphiniums yesterday as well. So those are already planted, and not till the end of the month do I do my larkspur. A lot of people sometimes think they're kind of the same flower, but they're not. They're a little different, so give them their due diligence. Larkspur will be at the end of the month. And there you have it. That is my seed sowing schedule for February here in Zone 5B, based on my last frost date of May 2nd. I hope that you found that helpful. I'll give you a quick glance of the seeds I have already started. Take note, most of these were started yesterday, so there's not much going on there, but my Lisianthus is coming along. Yes! And I'm so happy about it because they're in soil blocks as well. So let's go take a quick peek. Here's some of my Lisianthus. You can see some of the green little sprouts there. Yes, we've got growth in almost every single cell. Yeah, there's a little algae going on, but it's not bad. I'm so happy to see this high germination and all that green growth. Woohoo! Here we've got some Campanula, Delphinium, and Erignium. And then down 1 level, this is where my Iceland poppies are. Lots of different varieties there. You'll see a video of how I did that shortly. And my Campanula is right in here. Campanula actually likes to germinate cooler in the 60s, so I'm probably going to move this tray to my office space that's quite a bit cooler. However, because it is 1 degree outside, it's only 57 degrees in my office, and this is where my ranunculus and anemones are, and they are fine here. but I think the campanula will be too cold, so it went back out with the others. But my goodness, I hope you're pre-sprouting in there. Axie, who's such a handsome boy? Yes, you are. Someone got fixed yesterday. My puppy has turned into a man. And that's it for this video, everyone. Good luck with your February sowings. Please comment below and let me know if you're sowing anything differently than I am or any additional things. I would love to hear. And remember to subscribe if you haven't yet to follow along here with all things garden. We'll see you in the next one. Happy planting, everybody. Bye.